Now, for most of my adult life, I told anybody that would listen that I wanted to be slim and healthy and fit. And I meant it as well. I trained reasonably hard, I ate reasonably well, I signed up for loads and loads of crazy challenges. I've done half marathons, I've done triathlons, I've even cycled across New Zealand. I've done a lot. Now, I had a vision in my head as clear as day. Me, standing on a stage in front of a room full of people in a really sharp suit looking fit and healthy. But at the same time, I was also 20 or 30 kilos overweight for many, many years. My actions betrayed me every single time. I ate too much, I drank too much Guinness, and I love red wine. But I was telling everybody about a destination my own choices had no intention of taking me to. Now that's what this video is all about. What you say, what you do, and how you act, they have to line up. So many founders I meet, plenty of clients I work with say they want something, and their actions are quietly heading somewhere else entirely. The chances are, doing what they're doing, choosing what they're choosing, there is no way they end up where they say they want to be. Now, I know since for years I was the epitome of it, in my personal life and once catastrophically in my business, and I'll get to that in a minute. There's a great saying I always come back to. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Think about it like a car journey. You would never set off without knowing the destination. Can you imagine packing up the car, suitcases in the boot, bags everywhere, family climbing in? You sit down in the driving seat and someone says to you, "Where are we going?" And you say, "I don't know." Well, how on earth are you supposed to end up anywhere? It's impossible. Nobody would ever do that. However, plenty of people run a business exactly like that. There's no real destination, no ultimate goal written down anywhere. So they spend years chasing shiny objects and shooting off on tangents that suck up money and time, and in reality have nothing to do with what they set out to build in the first place. Now to the business story. Since I paid a fortune for this lesson, you can have this one for free. In 2004, I started my own business. It was business to business telecoms. I did have a purpose at the start, and it was a good one. Customers in the market at the time were getting ripped off everywhere. People were putting them on the wrong plans, it was costing their businesses serious money, and the customer service at that time simply didn't exist. So my goal was simple. It was to serve my customers so well that if I bumped into them in one of the local rugby clubs or Sainsbury's, we'd both be glad to see each other. That was just simple as that. It didn't exist in the UK at the time. So for 2 years, things went okay. The business was profitable, it paid me a small salary, but let me tell you this, I'm not a big fan of okay. Okay is a mediocre word at best. Ask someone how they're feeling and they say, "Oh, okay." It's neither good or bad. It's indifferent. It just sits there. And that was the business and that was me. So I wanted to push on. But here's the problem. I wanted to push on and I had no written destination to push on towards. A feeling is not a vision. So this is what happened next, and count the bad decisions. I took on a business partner. I did no due diligence, none. It was a total and utter disaster. We decided to go into business to consumer, B2C. I had no experience of B2C whatsoever. We flew out to Delhi in India to look at buying a call centre. We had absolutely no capital to be able to buy a call centre. But hey, we went anyway. And we decided against Delhi and came home and set up a call centre in my local town. If we thought it would be easier to control, we said local people would keep the quality high. That was the start of my catastrophic business failure, the one I've talked about loads on this channel before. That's the business where my £69,000 of my own money, my second mortgage from the family home, where it was gone in 17 minutes, and the business followed that 2 weeks later. This is the one I'm talking about. It cost me the house, it cost me the cars, it cost me my self-worth for 2 years. Now look back at that chain of decisions with me. A partner with no due diligence, a market I knew nothing about, a trip to India with no capital, a call centre nowhere in my plans 2 years earlier. Every single one of those decisions was misaligned with what the business was set out to be, a local B2B service company whose customers were glad to see me in Sainsbury's. None of it would have happened if I'd had a real vision. If I'd had a written destination, I would have vetoed the partner. I would have vetoed the B2C. I would have vetoed the call centre before the flights were even booked. Every bad choice I made walked through a door that a clear vision would have locked. That's what a vision is actually for. Now, it isn't for a poster in reception, it's a filter. Every opportunity, every choice, every action gets held up against it. Does this take us towards the destination or away from it? It just takes 10 seconds per decision, and it would have saved me everything I lost. Before I tell you what to do about all of this, let me deal with the word I've been using. Vision. A vision. I don't love the word, if I'm honest. Truth be told, it reminds me of shitty slogans on posters in grim office receptions. It reminds me of mission statements written by a committee, laminated and ignored by everyone who walks past them. If the word does the same to you, just drop it. Call it whatever works for you. It could be a vision, a destination, an end goal. Geez, call it the postcode if you need to. Whatever you call it, you need one. And every founder I've ever met who built something worth having had one. The other thing that trips people up is how far ahead they look. Now, some founders hear vision and start squinting at the rest of their life, and the whole thing goes really foggy. So, come on, the ultimate destination is, we all know where that is. We're all going to end up in a graveyard somewhere. So you need to come back from that. This doesn't need to be about you at 70 or 80. Look, 5 years from now is plenty. I sat with a client only last week whose blocker was exactly this. They were trying to see too far ahead, so they could see nothing at all. We pulled it back to like 7 years because that's what worked for them. So it was close enough that they could feel it and touch it and see it, and the whole thing unlocked straight away. Now that's the test for your horizon. It needs to be close enough to feel and touch and see. So that's the job this week. Get your vision on paper. Where are you going? Where does this business grow from here? What size, what shape, and what's in it for your life? I know from experience that's easier said than done, by the way. Staring at a blank page is where most founders give up. So I've built you a workbook that does the heavy lifting for you. The Vision Workbook walks you through it step by step. Pick your horizon, answer the questions, get your vision onto one page in plain sentences. Then, the honest bit. It has you to audit your last 10 decisions against it. Towards or away. Are you moving towards your goals or moving away from them? In my case, the training always said I was moving towards my goal. The bloody Guinness said I was moving away. Yours will tell you the same kind of truth, and it's for your eyes only, so be honest on the page. Now, the workbook is free. It takes an hour or two with a pen, and the link is in the description and pinned in the comments. So download it, print it, and get it done this week. Now, I'm Stephen Matthews. I mentor founders to build businesses that work without them. If you like what I have to say, please subscribe. Now, go and grab the workbook.